That was weird. Everything went on then. It just turned to you then, bro. It literally just switched to just your camera. With no overlays, just your camera. I was welcome using. Yes. How are we all doing? It is deadline day. There's loads of things actually happening, which we'll go through more so on the deadline day stream that we're doing at 9:30. So we'll do that at 9:30. We'll go through all the transfers that's been done and all the kind of news that's been popping off around all the other clubs and have a look and see if City actually do anything, which at this point in time, I don't think so. But there's summer news.
Summer news, which is, the next best thing.
Yeah. Can't look forward to this window, so the next window will have to do. James Maddison is the Donny. He's the man in question. Apparently, City are keeping an eye, or are interested in signing James Maddison. Now, for me, that stinks of no Jude Bellingham. I don't see us signing both. Bro, we can't get both Jude and Maddison. It's just not going to be a thing.
Well, you say that, right? But just hear me out, yeah? If Gundogan leaves and Bernardo Silva leaves, that leaves us with Kevin De Bruyne and Perone, plus maybe Foden or Grealish if you consider them as midfielders. But I don't think we'll ever see them there. So you've only actually got Kevin De Bruyne and Perone, yeah? Maddison's out of contract in a year's time. So realistically, how much is it going to cost him to get out of Leicester? I would say nothing more than 60 million.
Yeah, see, I see people in the chat saying we can get both. Yeah, we can get both. Maddison's got 1 year left on his deal. We can get both. Just if it happens, innit? At this moment in time in my head, it seems like an unrealistic feat for City to get both of these players in. However, it does make sense because with Maddison having 1 year left on his deal, I mean, he could be rubbing his hands like, yes, we can get a deal out of this. And if Gundo and Bernardo both leave, you'd say that there's two options there for midfielders. Yeah. So you could get Maddison and you could get Bellingham. But it'd just be incredible the amount of English players in one side.
It would be pretty mad.
That's heavy amount of English players in one side. Like I said before, Pep may as well be England manager.
If we get Chilwell, bro, it's gonna be like
Chilwell as well. Yeah, it's wild.
Like honestly, do you just give Pep the England job at the same time?
You may as well.
Might as well, because you know he's already managing half the England team anyway. But yeah, anyway, guys, we'll get into all this, where it's come from, and all that kind of stuff in just a second. Make sure, as always, you smash that thumbs up button for us. We're already over 100 likes, so big up to everyone that has liked the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you are new, as we close in on 70,000 subscribers. Big up to the supporters of the channel, Boohoo Man, for sponsoring today's stream. If you guys want to pick up yourself any clothes, accessories, anything from their website, go check it out. Obviously, they ship internationally and the global company in that as well. Use our links and use code CityExtra at checkout for an extra bit of cash off. So yeah, go and check that out, man. So yeah, basically what happened is, obviously, we all know about Cancelo yesterday, and essentially, right, we knew. So this is the City thing, that whenever we get some bad news, like really bad news, within 48 hours, usually we hear some good news or what the club want us to perceive as good news, and that is exactly what's happened today with James Maddison.
Well, that's I said that in our group chat after the stream. I said that this stinks of City basically trying to sugarcoat the fact that Cancelo's gone and we're not replacing him, because it appeases a fan base. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make everyone happy by throwing loads of names out there, get people excited for summer. Do you know what I mean? In one sitting, we heard Maddison, Leao, Chilwell. Do you know what I mean? And it's cause they're like, oh, don't worry, we've got plans for summer, to try and like steer away the fact that we've not replaced Cancelo in this window, because they know the club know the fan base, a portion of the fan base will be panicking about the fact that we're not replacing Cancelo.
Panicking.
I'm gonna lose my job. So yeah, that's just what happens, isn't it? It's propaganda, bro. But then this has some legs. Because of the sauce.
Yeah, of course. And it's come from Jack Gorn, who we all know is
Very good.
It is a good source. Also, we need to credit Tom Colomossi, I think is how you pronounce his name. He's the one who sort of co-wrote this, co-leaked the story with Jack Gordon, which is funny because, do you know when we signed Haaland, wasn't it Jack Gordon and somebody else? That first leak.
It was two people. Someone called Colin, wasn't it? Something like that.
I don't know, but basically, it wasn't just Jack Gordon. It was someone else who leaked the story.
I don't know if it was Jack Gordon. It was two people though.
Yeah,
it was definitely a double. It was a double thing. It was like a double trouble, wasn't it?
Daily Mail again, though, that really released that one. Anyway,
Craig Hope. It was on scene in Craig Hope. Is that what it was? I think it might have been that.
Okay, well, yeah. Basically, Jack Gordon and this Tom Colomossi guy, they're saying that Manchester City are interested in a move for James Maddison this summer, despite their interest in Jude Bellingham. Pep Guardiola this season isn't too happy with relying solely on Erling Haaland for all the goals. You know, you've seen obviously maybe some players not really chipping in. Gundogan's been quiet this year. Bernardo Silva's been a little bit quiet this year. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is Kevin De Bruyne, but he's getting on a little bit now. He's 31, 32. So it appears that Pep Guardiola not too happy with the lack of goals being chipped in other than Erling Haaland. And that's fair. That's fair, really, because if you look at like our goal spread, I mean, I don't know what it is, but it must be like 70% of the goals that we've scored this season have been Erling Haaland, something like that. I don't know if that's true, but so Pep Guardiola clearly wants to spread the goals around, which, by the way, I'm a massive fan, and this is why I think I always have this agenda against Thiago at Liverpool, is because he doesn't score enough goals. I think it's crucial these days in the Premier League. I think your midfielders have to chip in. I'm not saying they have to be like Frank Lampard and getting on a score sheet every other game, but they've got to be getting 1 in 4, 1 in 5. Because if you spread that between all your midfielders, if your 2-8s get 1 in 5, then that's helpful. Your wingers get 1 in 3, and then your striker gets 1 in 2. Boom, you're fine. So I do think that's a problem, and it does look like City are taking this seriously with this interest in James Maddison. And you know, James Maddison's a good player. I like James Maddison. I remember when we were signing Grealish, you was like, "Yeah, I prefer you." I remember you saying you preferred Maddison, so you must be buzzing about this.
Did I say that?
You definitely said that. I remember having this conversation in the shed with you, bro. 100%.
Sure. All right. Yeah. Well, I like Maddison. I do like Maddison. I think he's mint. I thought Grealish was going to play in the cam role at that time as well. So it probably was the thing that I said. I don't know. I don't remember. I've slept quite a lot of time since then. I like Maddison. I think he's sick. Do I see it happening? It's weird because I've never actually like. I guess since we signed Grealish, it's never something I've actually considered up until today. Like,
do you think as a fan base we've kind of like sleptwalk into this situation where we're only just starting to realise that, oh shit, Gundogan and Bernardo are both leaving in the summer.
Our whole attacking centre mid side is going. Everyone who plays in that left centre mid thing he's going pretty much. Gundo has a contract on the table and for some reason hasn't signed it, so maybe he's weighing up his options as well and wants to call it a day. Bernardo 100% wants out, so I feel like maybe it's just both have hit at one time, innit? Like it's not really felt like a panicky thing, has it? We've all kind of just kind of allowed that. Oh yeah, this summer is where we'll go get a midfielder now. Obviously, with Enzo, not sure on what the situation is with him in Chelsea. They seem to be still going through a little bit of troubles. But that's kind of off the cards now because he seems Chelsea bound. And he was like our backup option. We actually did a stream the other day called Jude versus Enzo. Having a look at both players and who we'd prefer at Manchester City. He's now kind of off the cards. So it does make sense that City are looking elsewhere and looking for alternate options just in case Jude doesn't go through, or maybe for both players to end up at Manchester City by the end of it. Like it's definitely a weird one. I feel like it's all come to head at one point. Like, and it might not end up being that. Gundo might end up staying. Gundo might end up staying. We might know with Bellingham, and then this Maddison thing just never happens. But if both leave. Like I say, Maddison 1 year left on his deal. I doubt he'd say no. He'd be well up for it. I've seen a few people in the chat saying that every single time we played Leicester, Pep's always over talking to Maddison. So I don't know. It could be a thing. It could be a thing. Good age as well. How old is Maddison now, bro?
26.
26?
He's younger than I thought.
Yeah.
Did you think he was older than that?
I thought he was like 28, maybe 29,
Yeah, I thought he was
something
older
like
than that
that.
as well.
26. That's pretty sick. That. This is getting me gassed for a signing that might not ever happen, innit? But
listen to this, right? I got some stats for you here.
hit his stats, bro.
Ilkay Gundogan averages a goal every 5.5 matches,
Okay.
which is decent.
Decent, yeah.
James Maddison, he averages a goal every 3.5 matches. If you add in assists to that as well, Ilkay Gundogan, what's that? 6. Ilkay Gundogan is 3.2 games. So Ilkay Gundogan gets a goal or an assist every 3.2 games. James Maddison is every 2.2 games. So almost a game less than Ilkay Gundogan on the GNA. Obviously, there's differences to the games, of course. Gundogan's a lot more control. He can control the game a lot better than Maddison. But in terms of what Pep wants, apparently that's what he wants. Well, the stats back up the fact that Maddison is more of a killer in front of goal.
I do think if Maddison came into the side as well, his record will improve massively as well. Like you'd like to think so, anyway. We said that about Jack Grealish. Well, you'd like to think so. I think he'd slap in this team. I just think he'd do really well in that role.
Mm-hmm.
But then,
me too.
But then does it stunt the growth of Foden again, though? Like, does it stunt the Foden's in midfield again?
Well, yes.
It stinks again, doesn't it, of Foden not being able to go into the midfield because then you'd have Rodri or Phillips. So basically, mainly you'd have Rodri, KDB, and Maddison. That sounds sick, by the way. That sounds sick. Rodri, KDB, Maddison does sound sick. But then, where does Phil come into this?
Mm-hmm. Well, apparently, we've also heard other news from Jack Garn on this as well. And it says, should Man City secure a winger this summer, then Phil Foden's natural progression would be to move inside behind Erling Haaland. I don't know, man. Honestly, you know what? I think we're at a bit of a crossroads with Phil Foden. I think we're a bit of a crossroads where we've got to decide Pep Guardiola, I don't have to decide shit. Pep Guardiola has to decide what is Phil Foden's long-term future. Because if you see his long-term future as an 8, right, or maybe just behind a striker, sort of like a second striker, then you're going to have to start playing him there sooner or later because he's 22 now. He's been stuck on the wing now for a couple of years and done really well. He's done really well. But if you ever want to see that full potential of Phil Foden in that sort of position, then you need to do it sooner rather than later. This summer is a great opportunity to make that decision and be bold with it. Why? Because 2 of our midfielders are leaving. Now, does he lose the ball a little bit more than Gundogan or Bernardo? Of course he does. But he's doing different things to Bernardo or Gundogan. He ain't trying to pass the ball sideways. You know what I mean? He's trying to drive on the
forward.
Ball. Yeah, drive with it forward, make things happen. Of course he's going to lose. Like Kevin De Bruyne. Look at Kevin De Bruyne's pass accuracy. It's their ass. Why? He can just pass the ball to a Rodri every 5 minutes. He's trying to get things moving. He's trying to make things happen. So I just think and of course as well, once we get this whole defensive situation sorted out and we understand what the defense will be next year, the defense will be stronger. You got Rodri in there as protection. You got a better midfield in terms of legs because it is leggy now, and that might help negate any potential problems in Phil Foden losing the ball. But I just think people who have a thing about Phil Foden, he loses the ball too much in midfield. Well, 1, you're making that judgment after how many games, and 2, that's because he's making things happen. Look at Kevin De Bruyne's. If you go on Kevin De Bruyne's stats after every game, he has a pass accuracy around 60 to 70%. He very rarely gets over 70%. He loses. If you want possession lost, it's usually in double digits, somewhere towards the 20, sometimes more high, because that's what you want him to do. You don't want him to have 100% passing accuracy because that means he's just passing the ball left to right. You want him to be doing things. That's what it's about with these players.
Yeah.
But big future. I think big sum of this for Phil Foden as to what it holds.
I agree, definitely. Chase, this is Chase to the 2. Pep trying to have an English regen of Barca 2010. Basically, it seems like that, doesn't it? But Jeff, with a 499, says, my problem with Maddison and Robinson is we could get the now We could get them now if we really wanted. Way better options in the summer. I think Maddison would still be a great option in the summer. And also, I've seen a thing as well. I'm not sure if this is true, by the way, so just hold me out. And then Zohib just put it in the chat, which is what reminded me. Apparently, Sam Lee Sam Lee has got his own podcast on it. Is it why I always... this could be absolutely like chat shit, by the way. But apparently, I've seen it going about on Twitter saying that City wanted Maddison on loan in this window, on loan with basically a loan to buy option, so that we could buy him in summer. But I've not seen anything like properly on that. Obviously, Freddie'd be the one to hear that like straight away. So I've not.
I think, yeah. So who's that super chat from?
No, that was super chat. Yeah, but Jeff is the one with the super chat. Yeah, for Maddison and Robinson saying that obviously better options in summer. But
the problem is, I understand what you're saying, but Jeff, yeah. But I also, you got to look at the other teams. So look at Leicester. All right, they're 14th. Yeah, chilling. No, they're not chilling. They've had 18 points. Bournemouth, they were in the relegation on 17 points. They're in a relegation fight. You can't be selling, and they've not won a game in 5 matches. You can't be selling one of your most influential players when you're in a relegation fight. So I don't think we could have got him in January, truth be told, mate. And then you look at Fulham. Okay, that would probably be easier to do, but Fulham are on course for one of the best finishes in the top flight that they've ever had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're smashing.
They're currently 7th. They're in full fight with the likes of Tottenham and Brighton for that sort of 5th place spot. You know, they could get Europa League football. I mean, so again, I think it might be a little bit easier to take for Fulham because it's like, okay, yeah, we're not in any danger of going down, but they've got ambitions to finish as high up as possible. They're probably thinking to themselves, there's no chance we're finishing higher than this next season because, you know, Chelsea and Liverpool are not going to finish 9th and 10th next season. They're going to be a lot higher. So then you've got, for them, they're like, do we really want to be selling Robinson when we're about to get possibly the highest finish we've had in the Premier League in a long, long, long time? So,
I guess it all depends on what they weigh up, though, because they may weigh up, like, they might be able to say, right, okay, in this window, we can charge more than what we would in summer for Robinson. And they could say, right, we want £40 million for him. And if City go, yeah, £40 million, sometimes the club can accept the cash. Do you know what I mean? Like, if the club can feel like they can continue on that path and still get rid of someone like Robinson, that's the thing. Masson with a 2. Yes, Masson says City spreading transfer rumours to calm the fans. I completely agree with that. It absolutely stinks. It absolutely stinks of City of just pushing propaganda out to absolutely let everyone just chill out a little bit about the fact that we're not signing a replacement for Cancelo. Negro with a 2 says Maddison is a poor man's Bernardo. And the thing is, you're never going to replace Bernardo Silva. Ever. You're never going to place Bernardo Silva. So that's something that people have to get used to, innit? You can't replace Bernardo Silva. That is not a thing. I see. I got baited in it, but I see it. It's knee, like your knee. Your knee. I knew it straight away. I was like, fuck. I knew it straight away. I was like, fuck's sake.
Get out, man.
That's the first time I've seen that one as well.
Chat dangerous out here, man.
Yeah, they're moving mad.
These guys in the chat, man. They're like, when the police get the spikes and they throw it on the road.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's dangerous. There's minefield out here. It's a minefield out here. Yeah, moving on then. Alex with 179 says Maddison is better than Foden, so it makes sense. I don't agree that Maddison's better than Foden. However, I do think signing Maddison would be decent. And Mohammed with a 2 says he's really injury prone. I'd rather Foden play in midfield.
Is he injury prone?
I don't know. I think he's had long injuries though.
Let me have a look.
I'm sure he got injured like for a long time in one of the seasons that he had.
Okay, so he's 26. Since 2018, he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 injuries.
That sounds heavy.
He's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 knee injuries.
Yeah, that stinks.
That ain't great.
That stinks. 15 stinks. But he is sick.
I would also say they're not long. He's had one, which was 72 days. That was back in July 2020. He had a 50-day spell for a hip back in February 2021, and then this is his 3rd longest one out. He's currently on 39 days with another knee injury.
Yeah, so that his whole thing stinks. The whole thing stinks around his injuries and that. It's the same with Ben Chilwell though, and you're fine for Ben Chilwell to be a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck me. I don't care about. The thing is, the injuries. Yeah, is like, what do people want? Like we signed players before who've never had an injury. They come to City and then they just go boom, see ya. Like I'm now injured all the time. You know what I mean? And so it's life, innit? We could go out and sign someone who's never had an injury, and then we get him in, and then it's like,
yeah, they could just become injury prone, and that's the thing. You know what I mean? Like that happens to players.
Who's got a really bad injury record, and they never get injured again. So I don't really buy it too much. At the end of the day, as long as they fit when they join, and the club are happy with the medical, then it is what it is. Like I don't think you can really read too much into it. The only thing you could read into is if they constantly get the same injury. So you could look at Maddison and go, he does have a lot of knee injuries, but then you have to look into, well, why is he getting them knee injuries? Is it the same knee? Does he have an underlying knee condition? Has he been snapped by Heung-min Son? You know what I mean? Is Son going around snapping people all the time? And like no one knows anymore. So I don't know. Yeah. I just think you have to sort of look into these things.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's you can't always look too much at it. Jammy in the 20 months says, would you guys rather see Foden in the centre or Grealish? Just thought, I think both will be great there. I
would like to see either of them. I don't mind either of them.
I've said about Grealish for a long time
because the reason, I agree. But the reason I'd hold him right now is just because he's playing.
He's finding his own in it. So
Foden that is his position. So I've been begging for it for a long time now. I want to see Phil Foden in the middle. I think he'll do bits.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I'm just getting roasted in my group chat now. Thanks, chat. Thanks for that, chat. I keep getting notifications and it's making me laugh.
Well, while you're seeing the chat, Bray, I just want to let everyone know that the poll is in the chat, man. We've had 1,000 votes on it so far. Currently, 69% of people say they would like to see James Maddison at Manchester City. 30% of people. So that's about a third of fans.
That's good,
there.
that. Yeah.
1/3 of people don't want to see him. Where would I vote? I mean, to be honest with you, I would vote yes. I'm interested to know, right? For the people who voted no on that poll, let me know genuinely. Why are you voting no? Why do you not want to see James Maddison at Manchester City? That's my honest because that's obviously the response on it. So I want to know what people are saying on this.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be an interesting one. Like the summer's gonna be mad. I feel like this window's gonna be mad. Not this one. Sorry, the summer window. This one's dead.
Tristan says no need. Okay, that's fair.
Cash Bandu says English bias. No, I was waiting for that, bro. Bro, imagine we signed Bellingham, Chilwell, and Maddison, bro. English bias would be in every comment section, bro. We always get it.
Scared of having the ball, a couple of people have said.
Jay says he's a dick off the field and his level's below being a City player.
Is he a dick off the field? I didn't know that.
I don't know about that. It does kind of create this kind of party atmosphere, Joe, with Grealish, Maddison, Foden in there. Do you know what I mean? That presents itself in a bad light for me. I don't know why. Hads says he's not a dick off the field though.
Yeah, and I've also got to say, you've got to trust the players, man. You've got to trust that they're professional footballers. So you've got to trust that they don't go out and just be dicks, that they don't go out and just get steaming every week. And that's not what I think they're going to do. I think these are professional footballers. They want to win titles. You got to remember, right? Jack Grealish hasn't won many trophies in his career. James Maddison's won. Did he? Was he there for I don't know if he was there for the Leicester title win. I can't remember. So, a lot of these players have not really won much stuff. Calvin Phillips has never won anything. So, again, do these players, they're not just going to come in, man, and just start going, I'm just going to start getting on the sesh, going with Weatherspoons every weekend and getting on the 2-for-1 pints. Nah, they're going to do that. They're going to be focused and hungry and driven. Yeah. And then if they do start, falling off the rails a little bit and going on the sesh or partying or whatever, then more fool them.
Yeah,
because they have a great opportunity to win trophies and they're throwing down the pants. So I'm a hold that, man. I'm not taking that. I'm not taking that as a valid criticism.
Yeah,
I'll take the other stuff, but I don't see that as a valid criticism.
Yeah, they need to know the opportunity when they're getting bought by. They're coming to play for Manchester City. They're not coming to just fuck about their mates. So, like I say, more for them if they do end up doing that. He said either Jude is Madrid or City now. Oh yeah, people talking about the Zishan news. Yeah, I seen that.
What you said about the Zishan Don? Yeah,
I don't know, but bro, guy said that Poch was nailed on England manager.
I don't know,
I don't know, innit? Loads of people say he's reliable and that. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I the thing is, I'm in the exact same way as I was last time. I reserve judgment on Zishan.
I take like he says with a pinch of salt, man.
Yeah, same.
But he's got a lot of followers, but a lot of people like back him and that. He's got
bare people back him, bro.
So I ain't gonna insult the guy, innit?
Yeah, I ain't gonna roast him. I just
respect to that man.
I just don't think respect the grind, innit? But I don't think I believe you in it. Yeah, I mean, you keep doing what you do, but I ain't believing it.
To be fair, he's still gassing me up. You know what I mean? I still read the shit and go, yes. Whenever it's like something bad, I'm like, nah, this guy chats shit.
Why are you chatting shit for? What a fraud! And then when he says something good, it's like, oh, top tier sauce, this guy. Apparently, he said though he's not going to join Liverpool, and it'll be Madrid or City. So God knows. But he said individuals in Birmingham have relayed information to me. Re Jude Bellingham. I mean, that stinks. It doesn't. It just stinks. It's not. I don't want that. Like, anyway, we'll have to wait and see to see that thing. That's another summer stream in itself. Thoughts on United signings a bit, sir? Like I say, we'll go through all our thoughts about all the transfers and that when we do our deadline day stream at 9:30. But quickly, I think it's they moved on the fact that Eriksen has got a long-term injury, and they moved fast.
Yeah,
well, if Voice City could do that, we can't. We can't do that, innit? Thing is, the club clearly have a strategy of what they want to do for the rest of the season. Then they clearly,
chilling, innit?
Yeah, the club and the board believe that we are absolutely fine.
Yeah, man, they're 100% fine. And what you got a question, right, is I've been thinking about this, yeah. I think we've been stacking cash, I genuinely, right, somewhere in the CFA, right?
Walls.
In the walls or in the stadium. So I reckon there's like a painting, yeah, somewhere. And I think if someone found the painting and took the painting off, I think there's just a wall of cash behind there, and I reckon it's stacked up to the roof. Yeah, £200 bills or whatever the maximum, currency thing you can get. Yeah, and I reckon this summer I think we're gonna go big, man. I think we're gonna spend. Honestly, do you want my honest opinion? Yeah,
of how much we're gonna spend.
I reckon we're gonna drop. I'm gonna do a quick maths, yeah. So I reckon we'll drop minimum 40 on a left back. I think we'll drop maybe 50 on one CM. If we get Jude Bellingham, that'll be another 120. So, whatever that quick maths is, yeah.
210.
200, yeah. I think we'll get at least one winger at the cost of about 65 million. What's that?
Let's just say 70, 280.
280. And then I think we'll get... I think one centre-back will leave, unfortunately. And I think we'll buy a new centre-back for around, again, 65, 70 million.
330.
330.
No. I think it's actually a 340. I don't know.
Okay, 340. We'll start 340, yeah. And then I'm going to leave another 40 million cash on the side for emergency signings.
You got 40 million just sat on the side,
so I reckon
break in case of emergency.
My figure for this summer is 400 million. And I genuinely believe that money is stored somewhere at the City Stadium, bro.
Why would it be stored at the State Stadium?
They don't trust the banks, innit?
Yeah, the insurance on these banks, you know what I mean? You can't be trusting them.
Caldoon, man, he's like, fuck these banks, man. Keep it at the Etihad, innit? I don't know what it is. The comfy seats, right?
The padding, the leather seats, the padding in it is not. It's money. Next time you go to Etihad, innit? Just have a little look inside, and you'll see dollar bills, innit?
Whip your car key out, yes. Yeah. Stab the seat, rip it open. I'm telling you, man, it's full of cash. Cash.
Yeah, you can rob them, innit?
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it.
We're gonna
money, but don't rub it off because it's for Jude.
We need it for Jude, innit? We need it for Jude.
Just take what you need. Don't be greedy.
Adam says, "Don't be spreading company secrets." LB. Morel says it's below Aguero's statue. It's on all the bottom of all the statues. But Jeff with a 5. Yes, but Jeff, mate, do you think we are trying to prove we don't need Cancelo too much? Also, do you not think we need a more possession-based left centre mid?
I don't think we're trying to prove that we don't need Cancelo. I think we do need Cancelo, and I think the club knows it needs Cancelo.
The club knows it needs Cancelo. I think it's just something that they had to take the L in it.
Yeah, I just honestly, genuinely, I don't know really why they're not going in for a left back, man. The only reason I don't think of is because maybe they're happy with Ake as a centre back / left back. They might have ambitions that Gomez can do the business, and therefore they don't want to buy like a £30 million left back for 6 months who's never going to play next year. So they were going to go just waiting, and they've got someone lined up for the summer. Otherwise, I don't really see why they've just not gone in for someone like a Robinson, or why they've not gone in for someone like a Borna Sosa or someone like that.
The January transfer window exists for a reason, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's for players leaving, do you know what I mean? And to reinvest back into the squad if you need to. But City don't. It's like City don't believe in the January transfer window, bro. We're like, nah, we don't believe in this. We only do our business in summer. I reckon if you ask Carl doing that, they'd say, no, we want one window.
Because surely you're not telling me, right? You're not telling me, that if you've seen Pep Guardiola tomorrow and you said, yo, Pep, you're happy with your left back situation?
He'd say
you're
no.
You're not telling me that he's going to go fucking buzzing with it, mate.
I mean, he would to save face, but in reality, he's not. He's not
going to say that in real life, though, isn't it? You know what I mean? Like, surely he's going to be like, yeah, it's a bit dead, isn't it? I've got this 20-year-old guy from Anderlecht who's, young, needs developing, seen signs decent, but he's also poor defending, and we've got a centre back currently playing there. Surely he's going to be like, nah, in the left back. So then you think, okay, well, why have the club not gone in for in January? And the only explanation I can come up with is that they've got a target in mind in the summer. It's a big player, therefore it's a big fee, and basically it's just not possible to get it done in January. Either because the selling club has said, yeah, you can have him, but you're not having him now because we're in the middle of a Champions League push or a title push or relegation battle or whatever, or they just refuse to sell in January. That's the only thing I can sort of think of as a reasonable explanation. If they go out, basically, cut a long story short, if they go out in the summer and buy Borna Sosa for 25 million, am I like, yo, why didn't you just do that in January?
That'll almost piss me off more. Especially if we go from now to the end of the season and the left back thing does hurt us, do you know what I mean? It is detrimental to our season. And then in summer we just go get someone for 25 million. I'd just be like, well, why didn't you just pay the extra bit to fix it in January? That's why the window's there.
Mm-hmm. Which is what so that's why I'm thinking that's not what they're going to do. I'm thinking that they're going to go in for someone big.
Like that's why like the Theo Hernandez and Alphonso Davies kind of thing, that kind of reputation, or even a Ferland Mendy, he comes with like a £60 million price tag. That these are more expensive signings, which I don't think City would want to do in January.
Or Chilwell, great, Chilwell is currently injured, so you can't get. Well, you don't really want to sign him now anyway because he's injured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good shout, actually.
So maybe that's what they're doing, and that's the only sort of explanation that I can come up with. Otherwise, it just doesn't really make sense. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think is going to happen in the summer.
Chilwell got release clause as well. Did I see today?
I don't believe so. No,
I think he did. I think he did at one point, and because City didn't go for it.
No, I don't know. You don't have one there, man. He had one at Leicester, but you don't have one at
Chelsea.
Was
it? Oh, yeah, Leicester it was, wasn't it? It was at Leicester because then City opted not to go for him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the thing is with this left back situation, we're not going to replace him, and we've just got to hope that everyone stays fit. Or maybe there's other things afoot. Maybe there's a Calvin Phillips left back situation. It won't be the first time Pep's converted a centre mid into a left back. So
well, actually, say he runs that now. Yeah, might be another. He might have said to the board, well, you know what I'm thinking of doing. Calvin Phillips at the moment struggling to get me game time because Rodri's slamming, and I need to be playing Rodri in every game because every game's a must-win. So what I'm thinking of doing is playing Calvin Phillips at left back and pushing him into the inverted role. By the way, that would help get Kyle Walker back into the side. So then, say that worked and it actually did pretty good. Then again, if you had a Borna Sosa, then you're kind of screwed because then you're like, well, what do we do now? I can't go and sign a Chilwell or an Alphonso Davies because I've already got my Phillips and I've got my Alphonso Davies, and then Sosa's going to be sat there. You just spent 25 million quid on him. He's never going to play a game. So yeah, anyway, I've said that multiple times now. That's what I think is going to happen. If it doesn't happen, then yeah, in the summer I'll be like, why did they do that?
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Mojis, yes, Mojis 5 says we're a bit backwards. We should be spending while everyone else is spending. Instead, we spend when no one else does and under the microscope. Isn't the new FFP rules coming in summer as well?
That's only contracts.
Oh, yeah, it's the length of the contract thing, isn't it?
I think it's, look, Majis, I just think it's like we just said, man. You aren't going to get like a Rafael Leao in now. Highly unlikely. You're going to have to get them signings in because if you do, you just have to massively overpay. You know what I mean? And I just don't think City are a club that work like that. You know, we try and do our business the right way, as much as possible. But then again, you know, the flip side of that, you could say, well, if a club says this is the price, then that's the price, isn't it?
That's the price, isn't it? They're entitled.
As we found out with Cucurella.
Yeah.
We went for Cucurella and went, we want to do this the right way. We're going to go from the summer. We went from the summer and they were like, yeah, 60 mil. We're like, what?
What do you mean?
We're trying to do things the right way, Brighton. And they were like, yes, all we 60 mil, pay up.
Fair play to Brighton. No, I mean, they got it. They ended up getting the 60 mil. But, yeah, that's just the way. That's just the way. City just work different nowadays. Dope. But a 2 says, why don't City ever do loans?
Good question. If that's Doper, by the way, I think I missed your super chat last night. Bro.
It is Doper, yeah.
Sorry about that, bro. But why don't City ever do loans? Well, give me an example then, Doper. Who could City go and get now on loan? Who we could realistically get? So it'd have to be a player who's not really playing for the club that they're at, because if they are, then why would they loan them out?
Or with a loan to buy, maybe. So that's why they'd have a bit of incentive to loan him out.
So yeah, but but again, why would City do an obligated? They just buy the player, wouldn't they?
Alexandro, isn't he playing in the MLS?
Also, is he not like one of them players that everyone was raving about and then just turned into absolute arse?
Yeah, but about 5 years ago. Oh, well, Guerrero, the guy from Dortmund, bro.
Why would they loan him now?
His contract's up in the summer and he's probably not playing.
I'm just check that.
He might be playing. Apparently playing the World Cup, so maybe he's playing. Sandro's terrible these days. He's still at Juventus, Alexandro. Is he? I thought he moved on, me. Guerrero is also trash. Ferland Mendy would be a decent loan. Yeah, but in Ferland Mendy actually playing though? Or do they play Alaba there?
Guerrero plays,
does he? Yeah, so that's a rip.
So the clubs are not going to loan us players who play for the football club.
Oh, wait. Oh. Mendy's injured. Ferland Mendy's injured. Okay. He's out for 2 months. Okay, so that's that one in the bin. That makes sense why we didn't hear any more about the Ferland Mendy rumours, isn't it?
I ain't seen nothing in the chart. I seen no players in the chart who I think you could get on a loan. Why would Wolves loan us Ait Nori, bro? They're 17th.
I know what we could do. I've got the plan. We go to Wolves and we loan Adama Traore and play him at left back. Because he can't do anything else. So we may as well just put him in at left back. That's the fix, that. Then you've got Buff Daddy at left back. Do you know what I mean? No one muscling that man off the ball and he's rapid. Yeah. That's David the Ram, fix, that.
You're not going to be able to get David Ram on loan. You're not going to be able to get Theo Hernandez on loan. You know what I mean? No. You're not going to be able to get these players on loan. You can't just get players on loan, innit? You know what I mean? It's got to work for the other club. I'm just going to hand your players over.
Yeah.
Big up Daddy's Daddy, by the way. Remember for 4. Says, do you think with the summer transfers, example Maddison, especially 2 attacking midfielders, we're in for a system or style change? Maybe speed things up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that though. I think probably, mate, it's just the fact that our midfielders both want to leave.
Yeah, both midfielders seem out the door. So that's just a situation that we find ourselves in. It'd be interesting to see if we could speed it up a bit though. Like the way that we play is so slow. I think we're the slowest in the league as well. Actually, I think we're ranked 20th at build-up play speed, which is dead.
I mean, you look at our attack, yeah. So you got Gundogan, and or Bernardo in midfield. Neither of them are fast. You've then got Grealish on the left, not fast. Mahrez on the right, not fast. So I think you don't have to go crazy, but at least adding a little bit of speed in there just to give you that optionality, it would be nice. But I don't think City are looking at James Maddison and going, "Oh, we're getting James Maddison because he's fast." I just think we're getting him because he's 26, he's available for a decent price, and therefore that's probably why they're looking at him. And of course, they are only looking at him. They might not get him, but
yeah, he's an option.
If City want him, yeah, I think if City are really interested, if there's some legs to this rumour, yeah, and City want him, City will get him because it'll just be done. I reckon 60, 65 million gets it done. He's out of contract the year after. I think he wanted to leave in the summer, didn't he? And whatever reason, it didn't go through. I think was it Arsenal were bidding for him, and the deal didn't go through.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I just think that he's probably had enough, and yeah, and to be fair, you can't blame him, man, because unless they ain't spending no money in it.
By the way, just going back onto this, the left back situation of who could we get on loan. Apparently, this Ryan Aït-Nouri doesn't play under Lopetegui, however you say his name. We figured it out. I can't remember how you say it now. But apparently, he doesn't play, bro.
So I would think that Wolves would potentially, in that situation, then want to offload if he doesn't play.
But then he played in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games, but only bit part minutes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, difficult one, isn't it? Like, I just don't see it being. Is it Lopetegui? Is that how you say it? Yeah, I still don't see it being a realistic thing. Zeno with the 49 says KP would be a perfect for middle centre back with his passing. Calvin Phillips, yeah, he's got very good passing, so that is a shout.
Yeah, that is not a ridiculous statement.
It's just like how we've played Rodri in them positions before, innit? But obviously Calvin Phillips is really good at passing. Rodri's good at passing as well. So, put it this way: if we get injuries in that towards the end of the year, don't be surprised if he runs it. Don't be surprised if you see Calvin Phillips lining up as a centre back. It's not fully out of question, and I'm sure he did it for Leeds at one point as well. I'm sure he played centre back for Leeds for a game. I can't remember who. It might have been against us. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, for sure. I just seen a tweet here from Gaz Brady on. He's put this out. So if you take Jude Bellingham and James Maddison's last 2 seasons combined, they got 35 goals, 30 assists. If you take Kevin De Bruyne's, Gundogan's and Bernardo Silva's and combine them, they got 39 goals, 4 more, but that you got an extra player, and 27 assists, 3 less with an extra player.
That's some madness.
So yeah, look, City clearly looking at this going, we need to get some more goals from behind. Haaland, because he just can't do it all. And to be fair, if you look at this season so far, you look at it and go, if we can't create for Haaland, we don't win the game. Not every time, but usually if we don't create for Haaland, we're not winning the game because who else is chipping in? You know what I mean? So I can see this 100%, and it just stinks as a deal that City can get this done, man. And I think it will be a good signing. This is a good signing for the first team and the squad. This would be an immense signing, and you never know the way he plays. You know, I sort of see maybe could he be the guy to take over Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe if he develops under Pep Guardiola and becomes that sort of player, maybe. I think he's more suited to that sort of role than Jude Bellingham is. I think Jude Bellingham is a completely different type of player than Kev. So maybe they're looking at that as well.
Yeah, they could be looking long term and thinking that he is it. And with him only having a year left on his deal, now is the perfect time to strike. Well, I say now, but in summer is the perfect time to strike. Obviously, for people that don't know, we're not talking about this window. Specifically, City at this moment in time haven't made any moves in this window, especially to replace Cancelo. That is that. So all in all, bro, in favour of Maddison in summer?
Yes,
I agree.
Yes, I've still not seen an argument yet to convince me otherwise. I think
the only concerning side would be injuries.
Correct, but I would go back to you on that and say, all right, okay, I hear what you're saying, but also you go and find me a player like James Maddison at 60 million quid. I don't think you'd be able to find one. I don't think you'd be able to find one. And not only that, right? Let's have a look how many games he's played then in the last couple of years. Let's fully deep because people can go, oh, injuries, yeah. But how many games does he average a season? Because I mean, I don't know this, by the way. This might shock me, but it might be absolutely arse. Right. So this season he's played 14 Premier League games, yeah. What we played about 20. So he's missed about 6. Last season he played 35. This is Premier League. I'm just doing Premier League because it's just easier. The season before, he played 31. I'm just going to go one more season. This is the stinky one, isn't it? No, 31 again. So, you know, sometimes people look at the injury list, bro, and go, oh, this fucking 15. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you have to look at it all, man. How was he out for? Was he out for like a couple of days? Or was he out for 3 months every 15?
Yeah.
Every single injury. A guy who averages over 30 games a season in the Premier League, that doesn't really strike me as a guy that's majorly. And obviously, not every single game that he missed there, he might not have been injured for more. He might have been rested or out for poor form or whatever, tactical reasons. But I go back to the simple thing of you find me a player like James Maddison for 60 million, 65 million. I don't think you'll be able to find me one. And has got Premier League experience. Don't see it. Buzzing. Well, there you go. We're going to be live later on anyway. What time is it? 9:30? We're
9:30. We're live for an hour and a half. Up until the window closes, basically.
Yeah, exactly. We'll have a look at all the deals that have gone through today at all the other clubs as well. So people who wanted asking us questions before, come back to that one. 9:30. We'll see it in and get to that 11 p.m. deadline. Hopefully you've enjoyed the stream. If you have, make sure you drop a like on it. Subscribe to the channel as well if you do. Remember, if you do want any Boohoo Man clothing, accessories or anything else, head over to Boohoo Man. Use our link now in the description. And when you get to the checkout, use code City Extra and it'll apply any available discounts. Peace out, people. See you later.
Yes, in a bit.